Hello lovely people and welcome back to our today's tutorial. In today's class you're going to learn a lot of skills, yes, a lot of skills, and ensure to stay through the end. Now let's look at this beautiful Math Olympiad question. And when you have this kind of question, what does it remind you of? It reminds you of what you call radical expression. You have seen this sign. This is a radical sign, okay? So when you have something like this, it's said to be radical expression. And as usual, radical expressions or radical equations are not supposed to be done using calculator, because the essence of radical is to limit unnecessary approximations. So you see, in this question, we are not supposed to use calculator. So how do you think you can simplify this with this kind of power? Think. If you know the answer, drop it in the comment section. If you don't, join me and let me expose you to what to do. So to answer this question, we're going to start by reducing it, okay? You are going to keep reducing it till you get your answer. So in that case, you are going to have, we can say, let's replace this value inside with a letter to reduce it for us. So let's say y is equal to 1 plus root 5 all over 2. So in that case, we are going to have y is equal to 1 plus root 5 all over 2. We can make this to be over 1. So what do we do now? We are free to cross multiply. Okay, 2 we multiply y to give us 2y. 1 multiplies 1 is 1. 1 multiplies root 5 is root 5. So what do we do next? Our target is to remove this radical sign. So in that case, I'm going to remove this one. So remember, the 1 is taking a positive. So if you want to remove it, you are going to subtract 1 from both sides. That is when you do that, so that this one becomes 0, okay? So we're going to subtract 1 from both sides. And when you subtract 1 here, it becomes 0. So you'll be left with root 5. I hope that is okay. So what do you do next? Remember, our target is to remove this. So we're going to drop this down. We are going to remove this. This kind of root is called a square root. If you want to know more about radical or radical expression, visit the link at the comments, okay? So to remove this square root, you square. So we're going to square both sides. So we have 2y minus 1, you square it, and also square this. The reason is to remove the square root. So this we cancel. We are left with 2y minus 1 raised to power 2 is equal to 5. I hope this is clear. Now, what do you do next? We are going to expand this. There are a lot of ways you can use to expand, okay? But I want to expose you to how to use the algebraic formula, which says that if I have a minus b to the power of 2, you raise a to the power of 2, then minus this minus sign, use 2 to multiply a and b, then raise b to the power of 2. This formula is what we're going to use here. So in this case, this is our a. So we're going to have 2y raised to power 2 from here, minus, bring 2, use this 2 to multiply this and this. So we have 2, we multiply 2y, and also multiply 1. Then plus 1 squared, and everything should be equal to 5. Did you see that? So in that case, you are going to have 2y raised to power 2 means 2y 2 times, okay? And in that case, 2 we multiply 2 to give us 4. Y we multiply y to give us y squared. So if I open up this, I'm going to have 4y squared. If you multiply this, you have negative 4y plus 1 squared is 1 times 1 to give us 1 and is equal to 5. So what do you do next? We are going to still simplify to have 4y squared minus 4y plus 1. This is positive. I want to remove it from this side. So I'm going to subtract. So you subtract from the left, you subtract 5. If you subtract 5 here, it becomes 0. Did you see that? So in that case, you are having 4y squared minus 4y. Subtract this, you have negative 4 is equal to 0. So you will notice that something is common in these 3 terms, and that is 4. So you are free to reduce again. Remember, our target is to reduce this without calculator. So we are going to divide this. If you divide, you have y squared. Divide, you have negative y. Divide, you have negative 1. This will give us 0. So what do you think we should do at this point? At this point, what we do here is we are going to now have y squared we want to make this y squared the subject. Just watch to see the reason, okay? So y squared will now be equal to, add this y to both sides, we have this, then this one will be positive 1. So this is our y squared as y plus 1. Did you see that? Let's circle it. It's going to be useful. Now we have gotten y squared as this. Remember, from the question, this is what we have. And we said earlier, let our y be this. So in that case, what do? Let's replace, okay? So we replace now to have, instead of writing this, we are replacing it with this our y. So it means we are going to have y, taking the value of this inside the expression, okay? And you raise it to the power of 12. Did you see that? So what do you do next? What we're going to do next now is to still reduce this. We can still say that 12 is the same thing as y to the power of 2 raised to the power of 6. Remember your indices, that a to the power of m to the power of n is a to the power of m times n. Okay, so this is the same as this because 2 multiply 6 will give us 12. So why am I doing it that way? It is to help me still replace this my y squared I've gotten here. We are trying to reduce the work because you're not using calculator. I hope you now know the reason. Okay, so in that case now, we are going to now have this y squared, which has taken this place of this, is what? Y plus 1. Did you see that? Y squared is y plus 1. Then we are going to raise it to the power of 6. You see, from 12, we have gone back to 6. We are reducing it. So you are going to reduce again. So how do you reduce it again? You can still say that y plus 1 to the power of 6 is the same as y plus 1 to the power of 2, then raise it to the power of 3. Did you see that? This is the same because when you multiply the power, it still gives you back 6. So why are we still doing it? To still reduce. So y plus 1 to the power of 2, what will it give us? We are going to expand it, okay? So if we expand this, we are going to have, this is, remember, if you have a plus b raised to power 2, it is a squared plus, use 2 to multiply, we have 2ab plus b squared, okay? So let's apply it here. It's going to give us y squared plus, use 2 to multiply this, we have 2y. Square this one, you have 1 squared, okay? And it is raised to the power of what? 3. I hope it's making sense. So what do you do now? At this point, we now have, simplify this is giving us y squared plus 2y. 1 squared is 1 times 1 to give us 1, and everything is raised to the power of 3. So what do you do next? You see, we are still reducing. Remember, this is a guide, okay? So you see we have gotten another y square. So we are still going to replace it. We'll keep reducing it till we get what we want. So let's do it here. So in that case, we are going to have, from here now, our y squared is this. So we're having y plus 1 taking the place of this, plus 2y plus 1 is raised to the power of 3. So let's simplify the inside. Y plus 2, remember the quotient is 1. So if you add, you have 3y. Add this, you are going to have 2 is raised to the power of 3. So what do we do? And split this to have 3y plus 2 to the power of 2 and 3y plus 2. Okay? So that the powers are this. If you add the power, it returns you to 3. So let's expand this using our formula. So we're going to have 3y squared plus, use 2 to multiply this. So we have 2, we multiply 3y and also multiply 2. Then you raise 2 to the power of 2, okay? Is into 3y plus 2. So let's expand this. So this is going to give us, we take it to this part, and that will give us, So we're going to have, if you expand this, 3 squared is 9, and y raised to power 2 is y squared. 2 multiplies this is 6 times this will give us 12. So we have 12y. 2 raised to power 2 is 2 times 2 to give us 4. Okay, then multiplying 3y plus 2. So you see we've gotten another y squared. So let's replace with what we have here. So this is going to give us 9 into y plus 1, then plus 12y plus 4, okay, into 3y plus 2. So let's simplify. 9 we multiply y to give us 9y. Now we multiply 1 to give us 9, plus 12y plus 4 into 3y plus 2. So what do you think we should do? We can add this to give us, this is going to give us 21y. Okay, add this, we are going to have 13 into 3y plus 2. Okay, so at this point you are also going to expand it. So use this to expand this, and also use it to expand this. 21 multiplies 3y will give us 63y squared. Okay, multiply this is going to give us 42y. Then repeat it here. 13 multiplies 3y will give us 39y. Then 13 multiplies 2 is going to give us 26. So what did you still observe? Another y square. You keep reducing. So we're still going to reduce it. We have 63 into y plus 1, okay, plus 42y plus 39y plus 26. So let's simplify. To now have this, we multiply this and also use it here. So we're going to have 63y, multiply this, we have 63. Then we can add this up to give us 42, 39, we give us 81y, then plus 26. So what do you think we should do? We can also add this again. 81 plus 63 will give us 144. So we have 144y. Add this, you are going to have, this will give us 89. Okay, so what do you think we should do here? There's nothing again to substitute because we have simplified to the list. So what you will now do is to go back to where you made the statement. Remember we said our y is equal to the value inside, which is 1 plus root 5 all over 2. So we are going to now put in this y here to get the actual results. So in that case, from here we are going to have 144 into our y is this. So we have 1 plus root 5 over 2, then plus this 89. So let's simplify this to now have finally to have. So this is going to give us, remember what you have there is 144 into, this can be splitted to be 1 over 2 plus root 5 over 2. This is the same as this, okay? It shares common denominator, plus 89. So use 144 to multiply this. 144 multiplies half will give us 72, okay? Use it also here. We have root 5 over 2 times 144, and that will give us 72. We are going to have 72 root 5 plus 89. So add these two together and that will give us 72 plus 89 will give us 161. So we're going to have 161 plus 72 root 5, and this becomes your answer for simplifying this. And I hope this helps you a lot. Please let's know how much it is in the comment section or your thoughts about this class. Remember, you can share this tutorial with your friends and also give us a thumbs up. Subscribe for the more you get from us. I will see you in our next class. Bye-bye.